In 2001, Kevin Manis, an antique dealer with a keen eye for the unique, stumbled upon an unassuming yet intriguing item at an estate sale in Portland, Oregon. It was a simple wine cabinet, handcrafted from wood and bearing the scars of time. Little did he know, this seemingly innocuous purchase would plunge him into a terrifying ordeal, one that would follow him long after he parted ways with the cabinet. The estate sale belonged to the family of a woman who had survived a Nazi concentration camp. She had escaped to Spain, then to the United States, always clutching the small wooden cabinet close. Her dying wish, her family said, was that the cabinet be destroyed. Manis, captivated by the cabinet's history and craftsmanship, decided to purchase it, unaware he was inviting something sinister into his life. He brought the cabinet back to his shop, eager to research its origins and restore it to its former glory. He hoped to sell it to a collector, someone who appreciated the weight of history and the stories whispered by antiques. He believed this cabinet, with its connection to the Holocaust, held a story he wanted to uncover. Upon closer inspection of the cabinet, Manis discovered a hidden compartment. Inside, nestled amongst yellowed parchment, lay a collection of disturbing objects. There was a dried rose, its petals withered and brown. A small granite slab, etched with Hebrew lettering, felt oddly cold to the touch. He shivered, placing it back inside the cabinet quickly. 2 old pennies, their copper surfaces dull with age, lay beside a lock of blonde hair, braided and tied with a thin, faded ribbon. The hair seemed to pulse with a faint energy, making him uneasy. A strange sense of foreboding settled over Manis as he examined the unsettling contents. Each object seemed imbued with an unknown energy, a silent scream echoing from the past. He tried to ignore the growing feeling of unease, attributing it to the cabinet's connection to a dark period in history. He convinced himself these were just remnants of a life tragically cut short, tokens of remembrance placed there by a grieving family. Shortly after bringing the cabinet home, a series of unexplained events began to plague Manis and those around him. The air grew heavy, thick with a cloying sweetness that stung his nostrils. He'd wake in the night, heart pounding, to the feeling of being watched. He wasn't alone, he was certain. But every time he threw on the lights, he would find his home empty and silent. He started having vivid nightmares filled with shadowy figures and whispered threats he couldn't quite decipher. The faces in the dreams were always obscured by darkness, but their eyes glowed with a malevolent light. His family and friends reported similar experiences. Strange smells, like rotting meat and cheap perfume, permeated the air around the cabinet, even after he moved it to the garage. His friends refused to come over anymore, claiming the atmosphere felt oppressive. His girlfriend at the time left him, unable to handle the constant fear and paranoia that had taken root in his life. He was alone, haunted by an unseen entity he couldn't explain.